I was struggling as a queer person on reserve. I left when I was 18 years old. I needed to go out and explore the world. She's the first white woman that I dated. When I met your dad, I liked him, but his wife was kind of an interesting character. She goes, "Oh, you're Native," and I'm like,
and
yeah.
She said, "Oh, I'm sorry." She's like, "Oh, I was raised to be racist against Native." That was the first thing that came out of her mouth.
But your dad actually stood up and said, "Oh,
I think we have somebody in our family who is Native." We don't. We went through. No, there was definitely times where I was like, I don't know if this is gonna work.
We are planning to, I guess, transfer my egg to Stephanie and hopefully start our journey in having a family."
Trigger shot.
We're making a baby.
We're making a wolf.
I mean, we joke about it, like the doctor's the one that got you pregnant, really, but it's the best threesome I've ever had, really. No, I think I've always knew that I was never going to physically have a baby. Mm-hmm. Spiritually, I knew it. I just knew that it wasn't going to be me.
Do you want your jar, or are you going to leave it? Okay.
When we started looking for sperm donors, we were looking for at least they would have part of them be Indigenous and then possibly European as well. So it kind of baby would resemble both of us. And we were getting a lot of men that were, "Oh, I have 1% Cherokee," or something, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want to take that chance because I'm already I have more European." So I thought that baby would not resemble me or my family members. So then when our sperm donor showed up, we weren't like, "Oh, this one has more Indigenous, let's pick him." It was just because he was solidly Indigenous. Yeah. Salvadorian, Tongan, and he had the percentage of it
he was mostly. You have 2 seconds.
Keeping the bloodline going and making more Indigenous babies. I don't know. I don't want to call it a political thing. Oh my God, that would be so sad.
I don't think that's sad at all. I think it is political. In this case, I think sometimes people can have babies for selfish reasons, but in this case, I don't think that's selfish at all. I think it's part of reclaiming what's been taken, right?
We had started the conversation of insemination first. I remember when I was like going into the operating room to, get the eggs retrieved. Mm-hmm. Like I was singing Native songs. Mm-hmm. Like I was like singing a drum song. I think it was a very spiritual moment for me. Mm-hmm. I knew that fertility process, it doesn't stick the first try. Yeah. And then it stuck the first try. What's going on here? And I felt like my dreams, like someone was listening. It happened. So my egg, Yermo sperm, donor sperm, and my honey's uterus. So she's the marsupial and I was the hen. Guillermo was the cock.
It's a whole different thing from the last time I was pregnant because I have my partner with me. It doesn't matter that it's your egg. She's, you know what I mean? I feel her move. She's growing in me, so it doesn't. I don't really think about the fact that she's not biologically. It doesn't occur to me. I haven't told most of my family, except for my brother and my son, about being pregnant. Not because I'm hiding it from them, but we just don't talk. Like, we don't speak. I had to cut my family out of my life just for my own mental health, spiritual health. Theo's family's always been really nice to me. They're happy for the baby. I think the more babies, the better. Everybody just wants more babies. More nieces, more nephews, more babies.
My family's Christian, so they didn't practice the traditional culture, as if you call it that. I actually taught myself how to dance traditional. It took me like 20 years to finally do it. It just takes a lot of courage, like especially when you grew up in a family that's like, no, don't do that because it's like witchcraft, it's this and that, it's like the devil's work, and you had to kind of like have a lot of courage to do it. When you connect this in the hole, remember? You connect the back one in the other hole. I got to a certain point, like maybe when I was 35 years old, I was like, you know, screw people, screw other people's, you know, perspectives. But when you're younger, you kind of have to follow your family's wants and desires.
I'm excited to see you teach her the Indigenous ways of seeing.
I'm excited to see you teach her how to be privileged.
The original plan for the birth was to have just a birth at the birthing center. But because I have a fibroid blocking the cervix, I have to have a C-section, which is definitely not what I wanted. We're lucky enough that we have an OBGYN who is seems really willing to be open to everything culturally. So there's a few things that Theo wants to have. There's like the vernix, which is what the baby is coated in. Some of that's going to be kept because I guess it's medicine. And the smudging and all those sorts of things. We're going to have a drum. Cree will be the first language she hears.
I guess our differences really brought us together. Oh, ni Pepe Menan. Hina. Agak hiwetin wilder anuskan. Mahina kay sinigason. Kumichi ka makinauche. Oh, nenas ko mau gisiamando. Nenas ko mau gisiamando. Mito ni kisagitin. Ni Pepe Menan.